What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. My head hurts, excuse me. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below. As usual. This one is called Dating an Ex Lesbian. Yeah. So in my, you know, history of dating women, there have been times where I've dated women who were lesbians. And women who would consider themselves bisexual and all that. And it's always it was and it was interesting. Um, you have because it's a crazy duality to some of this stuff. Like they're women, general, right? They use dildos, so it's not like they're not they're out of the realm of having sex with men. But there are some things that just the energy sometimes is off. It depends on where you talk to them, where you catch them. What I mean by that is this: I've dated ex-lesbians who they became lesbians because they were tired of men. So and then they dated women and they realized women were worse, and then they went back to men. And what was weird about that was, as far as traditional roles go, as far as gender roles, they're like trying to try you as a man, but if they meet you and they know they can't try you as a man, it's like it's a struggle to fall in line with the energy of femininity, because and it's different. And what I mean by that is, this is when I was dating women who were, would you consider, who were ex-lesbians who were studs. And it's different when you date the girls who were the femmes. You get what I'm saying? Because the femmes are just normally, they want to be taken care of. They still operate under the traditional roles, because even the studs will get mad because they're like, I'm a girl too. Like I shouldn't be paying for dinner and taking you out and opening your doors and doing this for you and that for you. And you act all helpless when we both women, right? But some girls want that role because they feel it's a power role, but that drives some of them crazy. That's a whole nother story. But it was interesting nonetheless, because you deal with women who are on the fence, like and sometimes you can't tell. And what I mean by you can't tell, like you go out with a girl, and other girls from that life recognize her, but she doesn't look like she did when she was in that life. So they're out there like trying to like, what you doing? You have those situations. And like I said, a long time ago, I had a video where I was talking about. A long time ago, I went out to get some takeout, and this was before I actually started dating women who I wound up finding out was lesbians or ex-lesbians and stuff. Because at that particular time, I had a girl, and I went to eat, and a chick came up, a female lesbian couple came up, and I came through the to-go door, and the girl who was a stud got intimidated by me, and she started handcuffing the girl who was the femme, right? So I knew it was something weird going on there from that point. But like I said, it was some things that was going on. Like the other thing is, some of these women seem like they're trying to go on a vacation from women. They're not really done with women. What they're doing is they have some women who will get with you to learn masculine traits and go back to women and use those. You know what I'm saying? Like they're infantry, right? But then you have the women who get comfortable and are like, I kind of like this, and they go back to it. Now, barring some of these women have issues with guys because they were raped when they were younger, so it's deeper than just getting tired of guys. It's just that was their defense mechanism. That I'm never going. A woman can't overpower her, so So she'd rather deal with women, and that's a whole nother animal, But and the reason I say this because I've learned this is what I learned. Like usually, this goes for the lesbian who stays somewhat in shape, because sometimes the studs are known for eating too much, like trying to get big and bulky, and you know not muscular bulky, just big. Like, so they become unattractive to guys anyway. So even if you wanted to date guys like, you too big. So a lot of times, that's why I said it's the difference between the femme and the stud thing, because what wind up happening is they both kind of stay relatively in good shape. So she can take them jeans off and put on a dress, or the one that got the dress on just gonna put on another dress and some high heels and be at you, right? Another thing, you know, dating an ex-lesbian, you get weary. It's a red flag, because when you find out it's a red flag, it's like, because there are a lot of ex-lesbians or lesbians who have kids. It's like, so what is this? Is this the thing where you trying to get pregnant and going back to a chick type thing? Because that happens. You know what I'm saying? Guys have been hip to that for years. Come to find out, the territorial thing, because some lesbians, bisexuals, kind of different, but not so much, but kind of. I think when a girl says she's bisexual, she predominantly deals with men. She wants to have she has a sexual fetish for women too. So she's like the threesome thing. But a lesbian will kind of use you to get in the bedroom with her and another chick, so they can make themselves feel comfortable with each other. You know what I'm saying? If she's not all the way over there yet. So it's different. And my head banging. Excuse me. Another thing. And I don't know why this is, but it's kind of one of those situations where it's worse than dating a woman who just has a hard time with men that's heterosexual, because they use sex as a weapon. Lesbians, not so much. It's like, because they're not really comfortable with men like that. So now, the whole power dynamic of a relationship, the whole relationship structure is completely different, because, some of them are just super feminists. I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing this, I'm not catering to no man. Like you deal with that with regular women on a degree, but it's like a whole nother level, and you come like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then I've been in situations where I could tell girls had other girl crushes. And what I mean by that, like if I'm eating with a girl and another girl pops up, I guess they can spot each other from a mile away, whatever. And they'll come up and try to act like they flirting in front of you, and it's like if it was a dude, I'd knock this chick out so fast. But go ahead. I mean, what you gonna do? And it's funny. It's funny. Like, it becomes very, very funny. And some of the other things I've learned of dating an ex-lesbian is this. Nobody talks good about other people when they leave. So when I've dated women, I find out that were lesbians, they don't really talk good about women. Like, they really are annoyed by the selfishness. Like, a lot of times, lesbian women have dealt with the worst aspects of women and women pretending to be men, because it's taking that whole thing to another level. She don't want to be with a violent man, but she's gonna be with a super violent woman because they're both women. She doesn't want to be with a possessive man, but she's gonna be with a super possessive woman. She doesn't like the a nosy man, but she gonna have a super nosy woman. You don't want to be with an emotional man, but you're gonna have a super emotional woman, and that drains the hell out of them to the point where even lesbians, I don't care if they were stud or femme, they like they can actually understand why men deal with women in the way they deal with women because they actually dealt with women. You know, it's weird, but it is. It's like, it's just. It seems like their energy is so twisted and conflicted. It's like if you ever went fishing and your line gets tangled, and now you got to try to untangle it, but it's so bad you just might as well cut the line. It's that type of energy. Like you don't. Is it worth untangling that line of energy, or should you just cut it and move on and redo a new hook? You know what I'm saying? And with some women, yeah, it's cool. Some women not so cool because it depends on if you get to know the people, their past and their history. How did they get to where they got to? It's an interesting experience. I'll say that. I mean, I don't have any bad feelings towards the women that I've dated who I wound up knowing were lesbians, but I can tell that they're all conflicted in some sort of way. Most people are conflicted, but it's just a whole nother animal because if you're a straight man, you don't really operate with a homosexual mindset. So it's like I'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? That's something for you to work out, and a lot of women can't necessarily do that. Oh, gotta throw this in there. Especially women that are bisexual. See, they're more interesting than straight lesbians because there's a difference. The bisexual chicks have a tendency to have more of a free open relationship because they want to go out and do things, but it's kind of like they really don't want an open relationship. Like you deal with a woman who's bisexual, or she wants you to bring another girl in, or she'll bring another girl in. But then if you just decide you're gonna start bringing girls in on your own, that's a whole nother animal, right? And no, but I want to be in control. And I think ultimately it's just a female thing of women wanting control and not understanding that, once you ring that bell, you can't unring it. And dealing with women in general, I think that's just an across the board problem. Like once they ring a bell, they can't unring it. And for some odd reason, they think they can talk and manipulate and maneuver their way out of situations that they've talked, manipulated, and maneuvered themselves into, and that just don't work like that. So it's weird. I mean, it's weird. I mean, some guys probably haven't had that experience. I have. I'm just talking about it. We out.